Hello everyone and welcome to my presentation for the case study project. For the sake of this project, we are going to name the youth that I'm working with Beth. As far as Beth's demographics, she is a 14-year-old female. Her household consists of her caregivers, which is her dad's cousins, wife, something along those lines, but she calls them aunt and uncle. And there's also two older females in the house, which are the aunt and the uncle's children. They are a middle to low class family. She attends school at a public school in the area. She's in 8th grade. She was born in Jamaica. So, concerns for Beth. From the family's point of view, Beth has a history of sneaking out, being sexually inappropriate with boys. There was a time where she snuck out of the house and did some sexually inappropriate things with another youth. And the aunt and the uncle did find out. Beth has been talking to older men online. She shows signs of depression, if that is being in bed all day, not wanting to eat. She's self-harming, and she's been hospitalized twice for suicidal ideations. There was a recent altercation with Beth in school that she got in a physical altercation with another student. So that's just added to the family's concerns for her. From Beth's point of view, the concerns are the caregivers do not give her enough room to show she can be independent. Beth is diagnosed with epilepsy, so she would like to be independent in like taking her own medication and cooking and going on walks. But because her seizures are so severe, they don't really give Beth the freedom to do things on her own, so she feels very like coddled. Beth does admit to the two suicidal ideations, and she admits to the feelings of hopelessness. She has a hard time seeing that things are going to be different, especially when speaking about the family's relationship. She has a negative self-image. She has trouble with peers. She says that the kids in school really do not understand her. And she does not feel a belonging in her home. She doesn't feel like her cousins want her there, and she feels like her aunt and her uncle just want to push her out to a residential. Some of the strengths that I've noticed of Beth is she's very resilient. She has been through a lot and she continues to work on her goals, although there have been several changes in the providers that are helping her achieve these goals. She's even had therapists that say that her behaviors are too severe for them to handle, so they discontinue services with her. And Beth just continues to want to get better. Beth also has a willingness to work. She knows that there's areas of concern for her to work on, and she's very honest and open about those areas with the providers, and she puts in the effort to get to the place where she achieves her goals. Beth has a strength in music. Her and her cousins in the home all actually do like music producing. Not really together so much, but sometimes they do it together. And behind me, there was baking. She loves to bake. So some of the events that have occurred with Beth. Beth's mother was shot and killed in front of her when she was about 5. So this is obviously a very traumatic event for her. Then a few years later, her father passed away in his sleep. He was a lot older. It's a little unclear about the reasoning behind his death, but he did pass away in his sleep. So that's when Beth lived in Jamaica with her mother and her father, and then she was moved to America with the family that she's residing with now. About 4 years ago, Beth developed pica. So she's currently fixated on eating deodorants, where the family has to hide the deodorants. Beth will cut off the top of it, eat what's inside of the container, and then put the top of it back on to make it seem like it's all still there. And they have found, I would say, like 30 deodorant bottles in her room that she has eaten throughout the past couple of years. In 2024, she was hospitalized for suicidal ideations, and then again in 2025, she was hospitalized again. So, my question when working with Beth is what is the underlying need? She's having a lot of these behaviors and concerns, but through one of the high fidelity rap programs that we're working with Beth, we're working on what her underlying need is, and that was something that I would also implement in therapeutic services for her. I would use cognitive therapy, specifically DBT therapy, to work on the negative self talk, her communication, and her coping skills. I would really want to rewire her brain, especially with the negative self talk, because I feel like that does have a lot of say on the behaviors that she's showing, like her inappropriateness with the boys and talking to people online. Like, I feel like she's just looking for attention in different avenues, and that's because she does have that negative self image. The goal that I would really want to work on with Beth is just learning about being independent, and then the safety and the risks that do so. So, working with the family as a whole to allow the aunt and the uncle to realize the needs that Beth is, showing in unhealthy ways, but just working with them in allowing for her to be more independent and working with Beth to know what the safety part of it and what the risks are. Um, and then again, like the coping skills and the communication are all different aspects that I would want to work on with Beth.